You lead there and introduce whomever you will.
Cool. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Anger Games here, ready for some action. On the red side here, we have Chutney leading Red Alliance with an Astarte, a Neros, Fleet Hurricane, Rook, Harbinger, and Vengeance.
And on the blue team, we have Rouge One. Boat seems to have pulled himself from his deathbed. He's been a poorly boat recently, and he turns up in the Paladin. We've got Guardian, Navy Harbinger, Navy Brutix, Hyena, and Arbitrator.
Yeah, and this is a really interesting comp from Rouge One, using a Paladin and a Guardian, and a couple of Navy battleships. This is something that Navy battlecruisers to kind of round out the comp, but really sacrificing on their support, going for more cheap, very flimsy options in things like that Arbitrator. And I can't help but wonder how that's going to fare up, especially given the Rook on the Red Alliance side. If they can simply jam off that Paladin, then they're going to have pretty much nothing to work with in terms of DPS until the Navy Harbingers and Brutixes can get in range.
Yeah, but there again, we did see Rouge One apply this earlier on to great effect. So we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, there is both teams only actually bringing 6 pilots as well, which is a little bit interesting.
Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed that. That is very interesting.
So at the moment, with how things are looking, I mean, I'm looking at that Rook, and yeah, if it gets its jams off, then that's going to make things a little bit more problematical. But you kind of see any obvious leader at the moment?
I'm going for Red Alliance here. I think they really as much as I love Dirk, great guy. I'm pretty sure he's going to be drunk under the table here by the Russians.
Well, I'm going to go Rouge One simply because I saw the performance earlier on. But looking at those,
and then we
jams...
see a really, really good call there from Rouge One, going for that Neros first. It seems like their Paladin is not jammed for now. I'm just going to take a look. Yep, he's not, and they're using that. They're using the tracking of it to really put some pain onto that. Oh, as I say that, Hyena, not enough transversal, eating all of the dicks. Can it get any reps? Or
yeah,
is
but
it just
no, he's got some speed up though. He's if you look at it, he's up to 2 kilometers per second. That Anero's still taking a bit of hammering. So those jams still not quite applying the way that they actually want them to at this time.
Yep. Oh, yeah, but it just looks like they're not able to keep quite enough damage off that Neros. It's slowly bleeding down. The reps are working fairly well, but it's not going to be enough. Looking at that half armor, they need to start putting some focus on DPS. They need to start trading, because if they don't trade something for this Neros, they're going to just straight up lose this match the second that Rook dies.
Well, exactly. And I mean, it's once and they're doing the right thing by trying to punch through that Aneros. So much is dependent on this Rook and how it actually performs now. But that Navy Brutix, that's taking a hammering there. Lad's getting a bit of attention.
Yeah, Lad's going down faster than a... Jesus Christ. That is faster a lot of damage being put on him.
Anyway, that could mean that the Guardian's unable to rep at the moment, which means that that could be causing him issues.
Oh yeah, if the Guardian's jammed, then
And there he goes. Yeah, and that's going to be that's really going to be taking the pressure off of the Red Alliance and Neros now. So that'll give them an opportunity to actually potentially stabilize, let things settle down a little bit more, and all the time that Rouge One are actually losing ships is only going to amplify the benefits from that Rook.
Yeah, you can see actually just there we saw that the Guardian was still able to lock, still able to put some reps in that Harbinger. I can't help but think that the Rook must be focusing on the 2 DPS ships left on the field, and if he is, that's going to be a reasonably decent chance that he will be able to lock out the 2 DPS ships left. And that just shows kind of the weakness of these 6-man super, all my eggs in one basket comp. If you start losing stuff, it just you have nothing, you have no redundancy to fall back on.
Well, there is that, but equally can be said for like the Red Alliance team, because if they'd lost that Rook, they'd be thinking the same. Here goes the Aneros,
though.
So that could really change stuff.
Shows some poor, in my opinion, that's some poor jamming choice from the Rook. He really should have been focusing on jamming out their DPS there. And yeah, now we can see chunks being taken out of that Rook as they try and destroy the bane of their existence, ECM. The bane of everyone's existence, really.
Exactly, and I mean, it's like, I think that Rouge One had committed so much on that Aneros that they were like loath to actually go after that Rook. Okay, and they kept the pressure up on the Aneros. They finally punched through it, and now that that's out of the equation, that Rook is key.
Oh, and it is going down fast. I can't even think that maybe the Aneros wouldn't have been able to hold it, the amount of damage it's taken. This is brutal.
He's running hard.
Yeah, well, turns out running doesn't win you much, as they trade a Rook for a Rook for an Arbitrator. That is such a bad trade. Now we're just looking at a Fleet Hurricane and a Harbinger, effectively, versus a Paladin and a Navy Harbinger. I think absolutely anyone could take... Oh no, the Astarte is still alive. What's the Astarte doing?
You look at the control bar though, and it's been like massively kind of reduced from where it was. Now we're actually going to see like Rouge One actually be able to actually be relatively systematic in pulling apart the rest of the Red Alliance team, I think.
Yeah, not much that the Red Alliance team can do here as they take huge chunks out of that Fleet Hurricane. They have to start trading back, but by the look of how small that control bar is, it looks like they might only have one set of webs and scrams. That's not enough to really apply properly to this Guardian, and that's going to really hurt them. Yeah,
very true. And I mean, things have definitely got a lot trickier now for like Red Alliance after a seemingly strong start as well, taking out that Navy Brute 6 from like Laz. At that point, you'd have to like seriously consider that they were in with a shout. Not sure what was happening with that Rook, because it might not be able to like get its like jams off in quite the way that it wanted, but I think that was a key component there.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like their team was very much set up to deal with a fleet, an enemy composition that had its logistics jammed. And there we see the tackle being taken out, the Vengeance, the one piece that will allow them to apply any of their damage long term to that Guardian. And with that, I think we see Red Alliance's chances of even pulling this out of the bag out of nowhere disappearing.
Yeah, well, they've just gone from slim to nothing. So yeah. I think that's really where we are at the moment.
Worth noting that some good flying there from Nojic, just leaving the fight and forcing them to fire on something else, but it's not going to do much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, they were relatively limited in their options. So obviously, you try and pull away the attention, maybe kind of slow down the DPS incoming for a little bit. But this isn't enough to swing it. Not sure what Dirk's up to, but he's having a bit of fun there.
Bait tanking.
Yeah, he's catching, arguably he needs to get to the end of that armor cycle, but he should catch reps. Yeah, he's just got a couple there now.
Maybe he was just, taking a shot, taking a shot of Tito's. You can't broadcast when you're taking a shot.
Well, you'd know about that being his, or one of them anyway.
Yeah. God. I didn't drink last night, though, thankfully. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to solo down Nojic in the Fleet Hurricane. Burning straight for him. Man, I hope he drunkenly stumbles his way out of the arena. That would be fucking hilarious. Oh, and there we go. There's the Fleet Hurricane down, leaving Red Alliance with just an Astarte left on the field. I don't imagine they're going to have any... I don't imagine this is going to go on for much longer. Just got to
And
burn it down.
again, yeah, very much so. And again, we're noticing that obviously the team captain has been like saved for last. Whether or not that's like deliberate or not, who actually kind of knows? They're calling like good fights in local as well. It's like, I think that was a foregone conclusion. The moment that Rogue One got through that Aneros, everything was starting to look shaky for Red Alliance team. But we'll take it back over to studio and we'll talk about it some more over there.